So today we're going to jump into a classic fable you probably remember from way back, The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse. And it might seem like just a simple kid story, but what's wild is how much it has to say about the choices we're all making in our super busy modern lives. Really, the whole story comes down to this one single question. And it's a trade-off that feels more real today than maybe ever before. I mean, think about it. Do you go for a quiet, happy life, or do you chase after all the exciting but, super stressful stuff? It's this age-old dilemma, pitting that feeling of safety against pure ambition. And what's great is, this timeless story doesn't just leave you hanging with the question. Nope, it gives a pretty strong opinion. It shows us two totally different ways of living and kind of forces a choice, giving us an answer that's been talked about for centuries.
So, let's meet our two main characters. At the heart of all this, you've got two cousins whose worlds could not be more different. I mean, their values, where they live, their whole idea of what a good life even is, they're complete opposites.
Okay, and this really breaks it down for us. You have the town mouse, who lives for the finer things, right? He wants luxury, excitement, all of it. He's got a major case of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Then you have the country mouse. For him, wealth is all about peace and quiet. His simple little mouse hole, well, that's his palace.
The story really kicks off when the town mouse decides he needs a little countryside holiday. He's probably picturing something charming and quaint, but what he actually finds, not exactly the relaxing getaway he had in mind.
And wow, he is not happy. Not at all. I mean, his whole trip just falls apart in like less than a day. He writes the letter, shows up the very next day, and by that evening, he's already miserable. By the time the sun comes up the next morning, he is so out of there.
The funny thing is, his complaining starts before he even gets there. He's on the train and he's already grumbling. This isn't just about being a little uncomfortable, it's a clash of worlds. He's just so used to his comforts, his conveniences, and the countryside just doesn't have any of that.
And the culture shock? It hits him like a ton of bricks. To the country mouse, a little coconut water and a fresh root, that's a decent meal. But to the town mouse, this is just unacceptable. The quiet that his cousin loves is to him just a scary silence. Basically, everything about country life is just one big complaint for this guy.
So yeah, he's had enough. He makes up this lame excuse, oh, I just remembered I forgot something, and just bolts. He completely writes off the country lifestyle, seeing zero value in its simplicity or its peace. All right, so now the tables are about to turn. A few days go by, and the country mouse, being a good cousin, starts to worry. So he decides to go visit the town to check on him. This is where we get to see things from the other side.
He shows up just worried about his cousin, right? But the second he gets there, bam, it's just a total sensory overload. The noise is giving him a headache, the lights are on all night, it's just baffling. And what's crazy is, this is just normal life for the town mouse. But for our little country mouse, it's an absolute nightmare.
But then, he sees the payoff. His cousin proudly shows him his place, this kitchen cupboard that's just overflowing with stuff the country mouse has only dreamed about. We're talking jam, chocolate, a giant piece of cheese. It's an incredible feast.
So, the country mouse is just about to dig in, to take that first amazing bite. And in a split second, everything changes. The town mouse just screams at him to run. This amazing feast is just shattered by pure terror.
And you gotta remember, from the country mouse's point of view, this sound is like the end of the world. It's described as thunder, this massive, terrifying noise that comes out of nowhere and just ruins everything.
So he's hiding. His heart is just pounding out of his chest, and he has no idea what's going on. He can't even process this kind of danger. He's just trying to figure out what could possibly be so scary.
And get this, it wasn't just a one-off thing. That terrifying thunder, it was just somebody opening the cupboard door. But that's the thing, the danger is always there. The price for living with all this amazing food is that you have to be ready to run for your life at any second. Okay, so this is where all comes together. This is the big showdown, really. The country mouse has seen both sides of the coin, and now he's got to make a choice.
And this table just lays it all out so clearly, doesn't it? In the country, sure, the food's simple, but it's quiet, it's peaceful, and most important, it's safe. In the town, the food is incredible, no doubt about it, but it comes with nonstop noise and this constant feeling of being afraid. So which one is actually the better deal here?
And this right here is the big reveal.
The country mouse just says it all. He realizes that being able to actually enjoy your food in peace, well, that's a luxury that all the cheese in the world can't buy. So, with that, the country mouse decides to head home. And he's not sad about it at all. In fact, he's got this brand new appreciation for the life he left behind. He learned a really important lesson about what actually matters.
So, what's the big moral of the story? It's pretty straightforward. The fable is basically saying that real wealth isn't about having a lot of stuff. It's about having security and peace of mind. It's a really powerful argument, isn't it? That chasing riches just isn't worth it if it costs you your well-being.
So, why are we still talking about this story hundreds of years later? Because it's about a conflict we all know so well. The town mouse, he's running on pure FOMO, that fear of missing out on all the cool, exciting stuff. But the country mouse, he finds something way better. JOMO, the joy of missing out on all that stress and anxiety. He picks being content over being in chaos. And that's a choice we all have to make. And that really brings it all back to us, doesn't it? The fable gives a pretty clear answer, but for us, in our lives, the lines can be a lot blurrier. When you really have to choose between peace and plenty, what's your answer?